We've learned how to find the amount of interest when we are working with simple interest, but what if we want to know more than just the interest itself? What if we want to know the loan's future value? Well, we looked at one way to do that, which is to find the interest and then combine that with the amount originally borrowed. But is there a way to do it with a single step rather than a two-part process? And the answer is yes. If we know that we're working with simple interest and there's a future value involved, either we've been given that future value or asked to find that future value, then we can use the simple interest formula that the future value is equal to the principal times 1 plus RT. And that formula is derived by recognizing that the future value is going to be the principal plus the interest and then factoring out the P. However, you don't have to understand how we get the formula as long as you're comfortable using it. Now, in this case, FV represents the future value of the loan, P is the principal or the original amount borrowed, R is still the rate or the interest as a decimal, and T is the amount of time in years. So in this case, we want the loan's future value, so FV is what we're solving for. The principal amount, the original amount borrowed, is the $1,200. Then we have 1 plus R in this case is our 4.5% as a decimal. And remember that to change that to a decimal form, we simply divide by 100%. So 4.5% becomes 0.045. And T is our time, but it's important to recognize that it's our time in years. And you'll notice that the time we've been given is in months. So in order to represent the time in years, we need to take the 4 months that we've been given and divide that by the 12 months that are in a year. So we end up with future value is equal to 1,200 times 1 plus 0.045 times 1/3. Now we're ready to put this into our calculator and determine our future value. Remember that when we're putting it into our calculator, we want to make sure that we do not round until the final answer, and then we're going to round to 2 decimal places since we are working with money. So we plug that into our calculator and we get a future value of $1,218. Now I want you to notice that we could have also solved this by first finding the interest and then adding that to the principal or the original amount borrowed. So let's go ahead and try that quickly so that you can see the two different options for solving. So if we're going to use interest, then interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. So interest in this case is going to be equal to the principal, which is $1,200, times the rate, which is the interest rate as a decimal, times the time, which remember is still in months, so that would still be 4 divided by 12. So we plug that into our calculator and we get interest of $18. We can then take that amount and add that to our principal of $1,200, and our future value is going to be equal to $1,200 plus $18, which would be $1,218.